Greetings. I'd like to talk about my experience of what is known as transformational breathing. I'll put a link in the description to a couple of videos by Judith Kravitz. So, my experience of it. I'm not going to draw any conclusions from this, but I'd love to hear your comments on what you get from this. So basically, now, this transformational breathing, I would strongly recommend that you have somebody who's experienced, a facilitator who knows what they're doing with this, because you can overload yourself with oxygen and go into a seizure. So please do not do this alone unless you know what you're doing. So it starts off with jumping about and making yourself feel and look like a complete idiot. But remember, we're jumping out of the comfort zone here. And it's all to get this energy flowing. Then you lay down and you bang your feet. You can't really see it in the camera. And you bang your arms on these two pillows. And you get these, well, I got these shakes, like shivering, like cold. And the whole body is just shaking. It starts with the sort of the feet, the legs, and then sort of works up. I never went into this with any expectations. I thought, no, I'm going to leave that all aside. Then, after you've done this sort of banging, it's then doing this controlled breathing. So you're breathing in, not blown out. It's got to be like a sigh, relaxed shoulder. Well, you're laying down, but it's relaxed, straight, and the straight spine as well. I forgot to add into this. And what you're actually doing, you're breathing in, so it goes right down, pretty much to the pelvic region. So it's like your lungs are extended as far as they will go, and the vision I got with it was it's like the waves going in and out on a shore, and you're starting this sort of rocking motion with the breathing in and out. It's marvelous because your focus is on that breathing. Believe it or not, it sounds strange, but you need the facilitator to keep telling you to breathe, and through an open mouth. And you get into this state. I went through several stages where the shakes started coming up the body. And it is transformational. You're going into a state where you're unaware of your body. Now, the next part is just mind-blowingly wonderful. The next thing I hear is see a doorway in front of you. So I see in my mind this like Gothic arch and the door, and I've put these black robes on. So I'm now the judge. And you go in, and it's like, whoa, this is like the Harrods post-Christmas sales. This line just seems to go on forever. And you recognise all these people. They're everybody you've ever known, all your family, everybody that you've worked with, everybody that you've worked for, work colleagues, friends, everybody, the entire catalogue of people you've known throughout your life. And one by one they come to you and you forgive them. And then right at the back of this queue is, in my case, a little boy. And I knew before I even saw who that was, it was myself. That's the one you need to forgive the most, because You came into this world not knowing that you were going to be registered at birth and basically sold to the system unknowingly by your parents. You can't blame them, they didn't know either. It's a hell of an emotional experience. It's whoa. Interestingly, my friend Rocket, she said to me, "Why did you mention Harrods?" I said, "Oh, it's just the first thing." And she had a similar experience. I can't remember exactly what she said now, but it involved seeing Harrods. Strange sort of coincidence. It's again, I think, picking up on that same thought wave, that same vibration. So now this gets even more interesting in this breathing exercise, because you're still doing this, you're focusing on the breathing. You're not, your mind, it's wonderful because your mind can't really wander onto anything else. There's a couple of times, but I was able to bring myself back in and back into focus again. And it really helps having a facilitator there that's guiding you through this. It is you could say, like a type of meditation as much as anything else. And it is way beyond an ayahuasca or a Dreamtime journey, I would say. It's the breath of life, and you've flooded yourself with this oxygen. Yeah, I did get a feeling of an achiness, like almost like cramp in the fingers, and it's like, I can stand this, I can put up with this. So anyway, the next phase of this transformational breathing took a very strange turn I was not expecting at all. I looked, in my mind, I looked to my right arm, and I can see a nail being hammered in. And it's not painful at all. You want to laugh. It's an emotional release of, you want to cry and laugh at the same time. It's really hard to describe this, to be honest. And it is pure pleasure. And now I'm feeling myself, I'm nailed to this cross. I'm looking down. It's like there's two characters that must have missed the train. They've come late. Now I'm stuck. But I need to forgive them as well. I can't leave them out. I could feel at this point my entire body was filled with this golden light. And it's like your spirit, your consciousness, whatever you want to call it, in this white light golden form, I was able to pull myself out the body, down onto the ground. And in my mind, these two figures before me, it's quite unbelievable. It was shown to me, and I think it's just a representational embodiment. It was Donald Trump and Dr. Fauci. And I've cuddled them. I've kissed them and told them they are forgiven. Because something else with all of this, you've got this feeling that something's missing, and that something that is missing is hatred. It's gone. And it's such an emotional roller coaster experience of, you want to laugh, you want to cry. The tears were just streaming. It was my own version of a flood, you could say. And after this coming down in this spiritual energy essence, I've then gone back into the body. And then it's got to the stage of, when you're ready, come out of this. And that's pretty much all I remember of that. I mean, do tell me how this comes across. What are you picking up from this? What are these two figures that have come late representing? And without being too graphic, shall we say the toiletry function the next day. The smell was unbelievably chemical. It's a complete flood of the abominations, the toxins out of the body through the saturation of oxygen. So that's my experience of it. And I'm struggling for the words with this one, because it's like anything in this spiritual, when you go into this unseen realm, to try and put this into words is near impossible. The whole experience is, although when you're in that stage where it feels like you're nailed, you're at the same time unaware of your physical body, but in your mind's eye you have a body, like a physical body, but you also have your spiritual essence body as well, which is pretty much the same shape. And yeah, it's beyond anything I have ever experienced before. So I would strongly recommend, if you know somebody who can guide you through this, go for it. This is what knowledge is. It's experience. It is the absolute truth. It's not the truth for everybody. It is the truth from personal experience, which is for individual to every one of us. I mean, how do I describe an emotion, any emotion to you, that I can't implant how I feel? I can describe any emotion that I feel, and I can describe it to you, but I can't place that feeling in you. The feeling will be individual to you, and this is where it all is. The feeling is in the secret is the feeling, because it is all about these chemical changes you create in the body. And as I said on the last video, the breathing is the one part we can consciously alter and we can control. We can't do it with any of the internal organs directly, but we can send the instruction with the breathing, with the oxygen. In the opposite aspect, if you were in fight or flight mode in the reptilian survival brain, then the adrenaline would be going and it will be gearing you up for that situation. But this is not the acidic end of things, this is the alkaline end of things. This is getting into contact with your higher self. This is your arc. Remember that Jacob was the dreamer that ascended the ladder up to a place called Pineal. And this is what it's doing. It's waking the sleeping giant inside each and every one of us. It is the creator within your pineal gland. So that is my testimony and experience of transformational breathing. I've had a song been going round and round in my head all day. Although I've played it, it's still there. It's called Brave New World by Toyah Willcox. I think it's about 1981. It was one of her hits, and it's basically new beginnings, new surroundings. Oh love, it's a brave new world. Sing. If you're feeling angry, if you're feeling negative, this is what I've started doing. There's plenty of vocal coach videos. I've been using A.A. Tension. He's a mainstream vocal coach for people who go on X Factor. There's no plans to be a singer. It's just to open up the vocal cords, to instill myself with confidence, and I do feel better for it. And if you're feeling down, I can only sing one thing to you, really. It's basically, I can see clearly now the rain has gone. It's going to be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. And if you go across to the Lavette channel, listen to her latest video, I'll put the link in the description. As she says, we are going into not a golden age, we are going into a platinum age. We are going into a golden age beyond all golden ages, despite what is being shown out there, because all they're showing you is illusions. They talk about tier 4, tier 5. Well, it's stages of narcissism. You're getting the flying monkeys at the moment. Wizard of Oz was a reference to that. The next bit is the stonewalling. So probably won't get any more of these furlough payments. Furlough payments. What is that? Some sort of trench? All these words that they use. Apollo space missions and the like. It's ludicrously pathetic, and it's all part of the veil. As you're awakening this awareness, this spiritual growth that you're all individually going through, you'll find the veil lifts everywhere. You'll find that silver thread in everything and anything you look at eventually. With this transformational breathing, you're sort of getting yourself into, what would it be, the theta or delta, or even possibly the gamma state, where you're firing. And it's also, with this transformational breathing, it is definitely a transformation, because, oh boy, do I feel different inside now. I feel an extension of that 3-day fast and meditation, where I just cut myself off from the external world, no social media, no mobile phones or anything, and I went into the silence for those 3 days. Day 3 was all about the clarity and the future. My life is just, it's now at a major crossroads. And I know the path I am taking, it has been shown to me, it has been confirmed to me with tarot. Thank you, Pippi on a String channel. And I'm just going to go with this, because this spiritual journey is all about stepping into the unknown, having no fear. This is the test. You'll get terms like a new strain. Well, the strain is, where's your breaking point? What's the straw that breaks the camel's back? How much can you endure? How strong are you inside? How much of a spark? I mean, look at the term, when someone said to be cowardly, it's called spineless. Well, that's your Jacob's ladder. You have got to be, well, you haven't got to be, but if you're on the spiritual path, I think you're aware, whatever stage you're at, that you've got to be the greatest, most expanded version of yourself, way beyond this physical garment that we're in. There will come a time where we all take this garment off for the last time, and depending on the choices we've made in this lifetime, they all come with consequences. So you could very well find yourself with a memory wipe, and you'll be back in another reality that is most conducive to your experiences and the choices you've made this time round, and that will depend what happens next time. Because you will meet the Grim Reaper, you will be cleaved apart from head to toe. It will be looking inside for that seed to see if it's grown and see if there's light, and if it's no good, that seed will be chucked back. You could very well find yourself as a slave in Egypt. Regardless of what the history is, it's just an analogy. You could find yourself 1,000 years ahead in time in a very precarious situation, or you could find yourself in a beautiful, heavenly, heaven upon earth situation. That all depends on the choices you make and how far you want to go on it and follow and go down this spiritual path, and just follow your gut feeling on everything. it will guide you. I can't teach you anything. You've already got it inside you. You just need to remember it. I'm just trying to help as many of you as I can to get through this. You're all going to have significant choices to make. You're all going to have huge, heart-wrenching, agonizing choices to make. There is no wrong or right answer. All I would say is make sure that your choices are based on unconditional love. So I will say ta-ta for now, and I'm going to do a follow-up video in response to a request talking about positive steps we can take and linking you to another channel. So I think that's definitely something worth looking at. So I'll talk about that next video. So I will say aloha and namaste and ta-ta.